fabulous.
Take two anymore.
From the first day that we came back, I thought, oh, I'm so privileged to be doing this.
Here we go!
People want to see the girls again. It's been enough time.
3 years later, we still feel like those 4 single girls.
People are going to be very excited and pleased when they see the movie. Is it me, or is Valentine's Day this year on steroids?
Everything's more expensive, more beautiful.
And a little too much.
Exactly.
There's a fashion show. We go to LA. There's a lot of variety.
Perfect.
People will get what they wanted for so long, which is more, more, more.
What are you doing here?
A lot of shit went down in this place. Attention must be paid.
Filming the series was really wonderful. I love the idea of getting together again to make the movie.
Action. For the people who know the series of Sex and the City, they would know that the series was really about the search for love.
You make me very happy.
Yeah, put it in writing.
And the movie's about what happens when you find it.
Picking up where we left off isn't the hardest thing in the world because Michael has written such a great script. Everyone just jumped to be here again.
It's right up there with the best script of the 6 years of the series.
The scene in the middle gets slow there.
Okay.
The idea that we were ever going to make a movie was sort of hard to believe, but then particularly after almost 4 years had passed, we really couldn't believe it was going to happen.
And we all have other jobs and other lives, and it's tough to schedule it. You've got to get everybody in line.
To get it all to match up just right is sort of astrological or something.
The movie we wanted and wanted and wanted. I don't think it could have happened at a more perfect time.
We all felt it was worth it. Well, pretty simply put, it's 4 years later.
Talk to me.
I don't think they're in a terribly surprising place. They've just continued on.
You pick up with each of the girls. Carrie and Vig are in a very happy relationship.
Just a simple home for 2. Carrie's much more of an adult.
Why are you reading this?
It's research for my new book.
Oh, what's it about?
Love. I used to write about finding love. Now I want to write about what happens after you found it. She's experiencing New York City in a different way. Just go ahead and feel what I want you to feel. Jealous of me living in this gorgeous penthouse in Manhattan.
Sarah Jessica Parker is a rare treat for a writer. She's got a range that's everything from casual to apocalyptic.
You want to do that? Move that curtain for a second, just put the
Deep well of emotion. In the movie, I wrote things and then she really came with it.
Samantha's bloody moved.
Hey, Hollywood!
Samantha and Smith have followed his career to Los Angeles and are very successful.
Samantha likes Los Angeles, but not for too long. She misses New York.
You run off to New York every chance you get.
Not every chance I get, only for the A-list things.
She has her girlfriends, her family's there, and her identity is more there.
Kim is a delight. She's a great farce comic, and yet she has a deep emotional well, too.
She's completely professional. I mean, especially for some of the stuff we're having to do. I mean, the sexual comedy. She's so good and made me at ease.
Charlotte and Harry have adopted their Asian daughter.
Hi! Mommy's home.
Charlotte is pretty happy in the movie with a couple of hiccups that happen that I can't even talk about.
You're here,
Yes.
and Lauren is going to be moving stuff like it's too much for you, and then Mary's going to come in with a bunch of flowers.
I
and it's just
love
like-
it.
I love Kristin's journey with Charlotte, and I love working with her.
Carousel, action!
Working with somebody who knows exactly what she's doing with her character, it was a real natural, easy fit.
How often do you guys have sex?
Miranda, please.
What? She's 3. She doesn't know what it means. I'm 41 and I still don't know what it
If
means.
I'd known the girl talk was going to be on lockdown, I wouldn't have flown 3,000 miles.
No, we can talk. Let's just not use that word.
Fine. How often do you guys...
Color?
Thank you.
Miranda and Steve are still married with 1 child.
Oh, man!
She's a working mother. She's extended in 5 different directions.
Jesus, honey, wax much?
Samantha, when you're married, you have a different set of priorities.
Oh, honey, don't blame marriage. This man's married and she's not growing a national forest.
She's a little stuck.
Maybe I should wear this and a briefcase and go as myself.
Cynthia's fierce, biting strength as an actress.
She is an unbelievingly giving actor. She's always there.
Is it all about the other person? Is that love?
No, that's marriage.
Needless to say, I don't think there would be a Sex and the City without the men to react to.
Have you ever written me a love letter?
Does a love fax count? It's been a fun gig.
Stanford's very pointy shoes were hard to fill.
You got milk on your top lip. What now? It'll be all good Steve stuff. Top drawer, Steve.
You really just get to see how these people have settled into their lives, and then you get taken on a ride from there.
A woman put a glass down on your new desk without a coaster. I said, if you do it again, I'm gonna break your friggin' arm.
Thanks.
I loved my stuff. I did.
You want to talk about it?
When have I ever wanted to talk about it?
There probably won't have many opportunities like this in my career to go revisit something. It's one of those things, it's like an old friend.
To have us all get to come together, it's just crazy. Sometimes I look around everyone, I just can't believe it. We have some new additions.
So you're from St. Louis?
Louise from St. Louis.
Carrie and Louise have something in common, and that's being in love, losing love. They hold each other up.
The girls have moved on, and the audience has to catch up a little bit. But there are those touchstones of people don't really change that much.
The good guys screw you, and the bad guys screw you.
And the rest of them don't know how to screw you, trust me. I've done the legwork.
And that's where the surprises happen.
Everybody, it is time to make the movie. Take your places, please.
They warned me about the first day, and they said, we're just warning you, it's weird. It was like we had all taken a nap after lunch for 5 minutes and came back.
You do feel like you're stepping back in time. And on the other hand, it seems completely normal.
With Sarah, Jessica, I felt like no time has passed at all.
And I leaned in on
Our first scene, we just lockstep, boom, we're off again.
The most surreal moment was stepping into Carrie's apartment.
Sure.
Because it had been reestablished virtually identically.
There's certain changes, but yet it's Carrie's apartment, and we spent a lot of hours there.
On a film set, it is a family of sorts. And you come together and you have this hard job and you work long hours.
Let's go.
This is picture.
I looked around and there's all these people that I have done scenes with for over a decade, and here we are again, and I thought, this is family.
Are we ready? Ready? All right.
You feel like you've kind of grown up on camera in a strange way. You feel very connected to each other and to the people who watch us.
We're like grown-up siblings at this point.
Then you two look at each other and then the door's closed. Right.
And Michael Patrick King, I mean, he's our daddy. He's very supportive and he's very loving, and he sends all his good vibes at us all the time.
You want a moment of...
Yeah, start with it.
There's no great mystery to it. He wants you to bring your best game and wants you to feel inspired.
He's just so in tune with who we are, like a painter. Little specific colors here and there that you have to be sensitive in here when you're playing the scene.
Just stop looking at them and sit back.
Okay. We're in good hands.
So let's just do that by the numbers again this time.
I trusted him so much in his storytelling because of his intense passion to do it right. He has been amazing.
You see my frame? Her head down to the dress. It was really fun to direct a movie like this because of the people that I worked with. They're all geniuses. So for me, it's really like a kid in a candy store.
It's a good, happy, comfortable set.
We're having a very good time on set.
What we get to do here is so special. I'm so happy I'm with the girls. And I want to be able to turn to each other when we're in these crazy moments and be like, can you believe we're here?
And what the movie is saying is we weren't lying. Over the 6 seasons, we do love each other that much, and we are still together.
Cut. Great. Let's do it again. Very nice. Very good, everybody. I think a lot about the audience.
Pictures up.
They wanted it to be a journey of moving forward, but yeah, fulfilling what you want out of Samantha, what you want out of Miranda, Carrie, and Charlotte. It's more than the series, and yet it's the same DNA.
What about you and Big? Come on!
Tell.
Every spring, the women of New York leave the foolish choices of their past behind and look forward to the future. This is known as Fashion Week.
course, the clothes make it enormously popular.
If you take the fashions of the series, now we're making the movie, multiply it by 50.
How are we gonna add more clothes? But we did. We found a way.
The fashion is really different. Really, really different.
The purses and the shoes and the jewelry, and having the freedom to mix it up and have fun. I think it's a real delight for the eyes.
We all love Pat Field, and her contribution is really, you can't even measure it.
Pat Field is an artist. She's almost like a jazz musician. I've had amazing experiences where I felt like, oh, let her lead the way.
She's really good at telling story with clothes, and she really knows these women in the city because she helped create it.
She was always about, like, what is different, what is new, what is fresh, what are they wearing in Chinatown?
Having Pat join us was really, I think, crucial to making the movie feel as familiar as it did, you know, watching the series.
Don't they look good? We could not tell the story without her, period.
There is so much wardrobe and sex in the city. It comes from Paris, it comes from Italy, it comes from New York, it comes from everywhere.
She pulls from every aspect of high fashion, low fashion, impulse, the world.
Important archive pieces to literally right off the runway.
I had to come up with some kind of plan of action by which I could follow, some philosophy. Since the end of the TV show to the movie, it's in those years that I built the movie on. Our audience knows these women. You have to give them something that makes sense.
Now I believe this is all really happening.
I saw Carrie a little more sexy, a little more calm with herself as a woman.
What's the label?
No one. I found it at a vintage shop.
A dress by no one.
She's definitely a person that's older and different, whose tastes have changed, whose palate has changed, and that's what happens when you grow up.
Everybody remembers the flower from the TV show. We used it in the opening scene when we first see her.
I really love Carrie's clothes in the movie.
Another hard thing about being in LA? My sex on a stick next door neighbor. I can't stop looking at him.
Looking?
Just looking. Samantha's fashion is all about being flamboyant. Sometimes it's a little trashy and fun. And she's not interested in the status quo.
This is Samantha's Los Angeles wardrobe. And you know, it's the Samantha colors, primary and bright.
Yellow, you know, I sort of see her as a lioness. Reds are great for Samantha. Everything that has vibrancy and life.
In the movie, she's bolder, but she's still Samantha.
Charlotte has pudding in her Prada.
With Kristin, it was trying to push it just a little beyond the preppy and see how far I could get.
Girl.
How does little preppy Charlotte evolve? Maybe as she got a little older, she got a little more sophisticated. Maybe she got a little more like Jackie O. That fits the bill for me.
I'm going for a run and then to the gym for Pilates. Anybody wanna? Even though she still has her worries, Charlotte is more settled now and more grounded.
That's it. The only two choices for women, witch and sexy kitten.
Oh, you just said a mouthful there, sister.
Miranda has a few different selves. Certainly there's her work self, which is very tailored. At the same time, Miranda's going to try to keep up with her girlfriend's looks. She's going to try and prove to them that she's not a boring lawyer lady.
Miranda is just a little more chic, less chaotic than the original Miranda. This is what maybe the new Miranda might wear to work. This color, great on her red hair. Still the same person, but just put together a little bit more cleanly and more sophisticated. The men are all quite different as well, just the way the women are. Some have a fashion edge. Mr. Big, he's that iconic male. Some look like a regular guy. Miranda's husband, Steve, jeans and shirts.
Stanford, as a character, was very much created by Pat Field. It's the only character where she had carte blanche. She just went hog wild. I don't think I'm wearing one piece of clothing in the movie that cost less than $10,000. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And it should be.
Sometimes I would have a reaction like, oh, but is this realistic? And I'm going, listen, if you want to do a documentary, do not call me. I do entertainment. I don't want to send it into the outer atmosphere, but I do want to lift it a little bit off the ground so that it's entertainment.
Background and action.
In the movie, I've used a few elements that I am personally enjoying. For example, belts were very important. The belt gives the shape. So I wrapped everybody about suck it in, girls, or yank. I think it's the new silhouette that we'll see in Sex and the City, the belted waist. I was thinking, let's make a small bag statement. So we rounded up all the small bags wherever we could find them, as well as shoes.
What would happen if these were to magically disappear?
Yeah, I know where you live.
We used in the movie some heavier shoes, a little stronger shoes.
Sex and the City had such an impact on fashion in general. Women wanted to wear these high heels and bright colors.
The audience was identifying with the details of the show. It freed women to dress in a more powerful and more personal way. It brought out the individuality of women and therefore the confidence of women.
It humanized a lot of fashion and made it understandable and more accessible to the average person.
How does an unemployed girl with 3 roommates afford the patchwork denim bully Louis Vuitton bag?
It's rented.
Sex and the City turns a fashion brand into a household name. Suddenly, millions of women know who Jimmy Choo was.
There was Kristin Dior, there was Manola Blahnik.
Sex and the City gave women permission to acknowledge their obsession with shoes.
Shoes are mood-altering for women. It's like taking a jewel out of the little box. You feel sexier, you feel taller. Doesn't matter if you're having a fat day, a thin day, your shoe size remains the same.
To me, a good shoe is a shoe that you first look at the woman and then you consider looking at the rest, like her shoes, etc. But you should still look first at the woman. It's an extension of their own femininity. It's an extension of their own characters.
Well, I'm gonna merchandise it up, style it up with some shoes.
I love the scenes when I have the 4 of them walking down the street or whatever they're doing. The audience loves them. I think it's enjoyed by all.
Great style at every age.
God, I miss New York.
New York is probably the only place you could have done this story. And in the movie, New York is a lot everywhere.
The show is Sex and the City, and that's what it is. It's about the love lives of these women and the city of New York.
I don't think there was another show about what New York can be and possibilities for women in New York and how you can make it on your own.
Oh, I remember that smile. Who's the guy?
It's a tough city to be single in, so it really is a wonderful, beautiful backdrop to the excitement of what it can be and the loneliness and the craziness in any given day.
I don't know what. Oh, there is murder!
It really embraces so much of what our girls go through.
The city became this critical character, integral to the story, and really was the 5th lady.
It feeds every fiber of the show. The excitement and the vibrancy, it's very immediate, and it's all around you. What they did in the writing and in the shooting of it was let's try and bring that to the screen.
Showed a great diversity of what New York can be with great restaurants and theater and culture and whatnot. So.
It's a certain slice of New York. It's mostly New York as a playground.
The show is a great calling card to come visit New York and maybe even live here. I think we served each other well.
You live in real estate heaven, and I live in Brooklyn.
New York Magazine said Brooklyn is the new Manhattan.
Oh, whoever wrote that lives in Brooklyn.
It's really an actor's dream to shoot in New York. This is where you end up, if you're lucky, in my opinion.
New York embraced us like a warm blanket.
Get a straight line right there. Perfect.
People were more than happy to throw open the doors and welcome us, and garbage trucks go by and yell to Carrie, "Hey, Carrie." It became almost an MGM backlot for us. It was really fun.
And coming into the city, doing the film, everybody's excited to have us back, so we feel excited to be back.
They really miss these girls.
Half of you go to that lion and the other half go to that lion.
We did not foresee the level of attention.
This movie, I mean, we can't get to a location without hundreds and hundreds of people being there. I've never seen anything like that.
Between every take, when someone yells cut, the crowd surge in.
In the middle of a take, someone's screaming,
Samantha, I love you!
To walk across this, it's my Sex and the City dream come true. I teared up when I saw it. I got so excited.
I want to see what they're wearing.
It can look overwhelming. So many people standing there watching you, but then they're really in tune with us, I think.
We're gonna roll now, so please don't shoot.
It's pretty amazing and moving, and is also a reminder of why the movie's even happening.
You kind of become a part of it.
I'm so excited for the movie. It looks fabulous.
I can't wait to see what happens with Carrie and Big. I hope they get together.
My girlfriends from Florida are going to come up, and we're going to make a weekend out of going to see the movie here.
it just doesn't get much better than that. To reach people and influence one way or another how they spend their day. Maybe it's just making them laugh.
There's a real enthusiasm for this and a real thirst for it.
I am so excited.
If they're a true fan of Sex and the City, they are gonna love it.
It's a great event to come together to watch. There will be enough shocking things in the movie that you'll want to go like this.
Well, that was the exact reaction I was aiming for.
It's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving.
Are you sure she's not my child?
This is an event, and when will we have this chance again? The four of us together again. It's been really, really exciting.